Hey, I'm Jenny.
And I'm Hillary, and you can call us
The Garden Tarts.
Kissing lips and breaking hearts.
We have been bestest friends for over 25 years, and we love to talk U2.
We've had some super ridiculous adventures, and now this podcast, which is pretty much all opinion with a handful of facts thrown in.
Why a U2 podcast? Because as much as we love talking U2, we know you do too.
So sit down, grab a drink, and find us on Instagram and Twitter so we can chat.
Hey everyone, welcome to this special little mini app.
It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
We are recording it on Thursday, February 20th, 2020.
Yes. And tomorrow, February 21st, is the
17th anniversary
of when Bono received the MusiCares Person of the Year award.
It was a really
we were there.
We were very fortunate to have been there.
And so we thought it would be fun to go back down memory lane.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a while. I had forgotten a lot about this, but it was a great adventure. We were in New York. It was at the Marriott Marquis at Times Square, and we stayed in the hotel there.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Very big hotel. We had fancy dresses, and we paid a lot of money to go. I made a lot of money. I know
made any memory.
No, I know exactly how much. Oh, I know exactly how much it was. And I remember
it hurting a little bit.
I had to make payments for a really long time. And I think I told my parents it was like $100.
Aww.
I think it's just $100. I have that. I don't need to, take out a loan or anything.
Hey, before we get started, I want to read some of our iTunes reviews.
Please do. This is so exciting.
Because I know, the same with you, this just like tickles me pink. It makes me so excited.
I'm so flattered, and thank you. Thank you for everyone that just listens even.
And we have a handful, but I just want to give some props and say thanks to some people that have stopped by recently and done so. CMS the First, I believe his name is Charlie. He said, "U2 fans, stop here and listen. Just discovered this podcast and fell in love with it right away. The ladies are fun, and you can tell they are friends because they ooze chemistry. I've downloaded each episode, and I have a feeling I will be all caught up in no time." And he is in the United States. I know. Thank you. Here's one all the way from New Zealand. Anwen says, "Awesome U2 podcast. These ladies are the best. Feels just like sitting down with your friends to chat about your fave bands. Thanks for the insights, the humor, the whiskey, and cake."
Thank you so much for and thanks for listening to us in the future.
And I should say, Anwen runs an Instagram page called Humans of U2.
Okay, I follow her.
Have you seen that? She just features U2 fans, which I think is really cool. It's the U2 family. It's the community.
Yeah.
Hey, we should also mention that we have a monthly sponsor. And I don't want to name her by name just because I don't know if it's something that she would want to do or not. But she's a Twitter user who found us and decided that through our Anchor webpage, which is anchor.fm/thegardentarts, you can become a sponsor if you want. And that helps us buy whiskey, buy coffee.
Cake in the future.
Cake. No, but in all seriousness, like we got new microphones recently, and we like to do boosted posts so people can find us. And it really is helpful for that kind of thing. If that is something that interests you, I'm never one that asks for money. But if that's something that would
make you feel good,
we would use it for good and not for evil.
No, just purely for good.
Purely for the podcast.
Yeah. And I would like to say also, the response that we're getting is better than I could have ever dreamed.
Oh my gosh. Y'all are so much fun. The fact that more than 2 of you are listening.
Right.
And you're leaving us reviews and you're chatting with us on Twitter and commenting on Instagram. It's just it's the most fun.
so much fun. We had no idea. I mean, we did this for fun, but we had no idea it would be this much fun. I
I
also
know.
didn't know it would be this much work.
It's a lot of work.
Which you do most of. Thank you, Jenny, for doing editing. I make workbooks. That's my contribution.
Yes, Hillary does the pre-production and I do the post-production.
Yeah, but it's just great. And thank you for being our friends too. Friends are always good to have.
So come on Twitter and come be our friend because that's where we do all the chatting.
Yes. And remember, friendship, once it's won, it's won.
It's one. And so with that, I think it's a good idea to remind people that they should subscribe to our newsletter so that when it actually starts going out, they'll receive it.
I haven't subscribed yet. I need to get on that.
Well, you should, because when you do, I'll get an alert. And then I'll be like, we got a new subscriber. And then I'll go,
Oh, crap.
If you go to our website, thegardentarts.com, there's a pop-up. It'll be right there. And you can sign up. And it'll be all fun YouTube things.
And yeah, keep following us too on Instagram. That's always fun.
Yeah, Instagram and Twitter, we're at _garden tarts.
Definitely.
Are you drinking anything this evening?
I am still drinking from my little flask, my little clear flask.
Your Screwball.
Like pea. I'm still drinking my Screwball peanut butter whiskey. If you guys have had that or, have discovered it from us, I feel like one person said they did. That they took our advice and got Screwball peanut butter whiskey and loved it. But
yeah,
if you
she couldn't
are
find
out there,
Screwball, but she couldn't find Screwball where she is, but she found another peanut butter whiskey.
Yeah. If you have the means, you should check it out and let us know what you think.
Yeah. I have a very special drink tonight.
You do. You have the most special drink.
I have the most special
ultimate.
drink. And if you all have been following these for a while, you'll know that my absolute favorite Jameson is the cold brew bottle I got in Dublin that was only available in Dublin for so long. But it is now, I feel like I should hold it up to the camera, but even though y'all can't see it.
You need to post a picture on our Instagram tomorrow.
I will. Can you do a screenshot of me like this?
I don't know how to do a screenshot, so I'm taking a picture. That's good. Okay.
Let's see what it looks like. It's now available, limited edition in the States. And I ordered a bunch of bottles and had them shipped to my house.
If you live in a state that allows you to have alcohol shipped, Virginia, unfortunately, we don't have that.
No, but I can bring it on an airplane to you.
You can? Oh my God.
And I will.
It's all happening.
It's all happening. It's the most amazing whiskey in the world.
Oh shit, you have to check your bag then.
Yes, it's worth it.
And so needless to say, Jenny's coming to visit me in a couple weeks. And we're so excited. And I'm sure we're going to have some sort of podcast event or something. We just don't know what content that's going to be yet.
Oh, I really hope so.
We're going to get new headshots, though.
Yeah, we need to update those pictures on our episode.
We really do. Different levels of Dublin intoxication. So we'll bring that to Virginia and just have different levels of Virginia intoxication. Where you can only have so many ounces at a time, because it's Virginia and we're still, I don't know, in favor of prohibition or whatever.
Yeah, how's that working out?
It's not. It didn't work the first time.
No.
I'm just joking. We don't have prohibition, but we can't get stuff delivered through the mail, and we can't have more than so many ounces served to us at a time.
Some strict rules.
Hey there, friends. Jenny here from the Garden Tarts, and I want to tell you about Anchor, which is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it is 100% free, and there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will even distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard across multiple platforms, including Spotify and Apple. You can make money with your podcast, and it's everything you need to create a podcast all in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today.
Okay, so let's talk about MusiCares.
MusiCares.
February 21st, 2003.
We were there. I remember it snowed like snow I've never seen, because I'd never been in New York with that much snow before. And it was like to get to the hotel, like the cab driver just let me out at the street.
Oh
And
my
I had to get
gosh.
luggage and like climb a mountain of snow to get in there. And
Snow in New York is gross. I don't
it was
remember the
so just,
weather.
oh my God, it was so awful. And then later it wasn't snow. I don't think it snowed at all when we were there. It had just snowed like previously, which is grosser. But then it got
Yeah.
really crazy windy, like wind like I've never experienced in my life before. It was not pleasant weather when we were there, but it was cool with MusiCares because we stayed in the hotel and we didn't have to leave
So we
to
got to
go to
get
the
all
event.
dressed up and we didn't need coats or
No, we didn't.
anything.
We didn't.
We
So
were dressed for summer.
we were. So info on MusiCares. The MusiCares Foundation is a nonprofit organization established in 1989 and incorporated in 1993 by the National Academy of Recording Artists and Science, which is the Grammys. It's meant for musicians to have a place to go in financial need if they, have drug addiction problems or they need any sort of service that they can't afford to provide for themselves. MusiCares is a charity that takes care. It's musicians taking care of other musicians, which is nice.
Yes.
And
Bono said something about how, it's his own people taking care of his own people.
Right. And every year they have they give an award for the person of the year, starting in 1991. Would you like to hear a few of the?
Sure, let's hear some highlights.
Okay. All of the recipients were David Crosby, Bonnie Raitt, Natalie Cole, Gloria Stefan, Tony Bennett, Quincy Jones, Phil Collins, Luciano Pavarotti, Stevie Wonder, Elton John, Paul Simon, Billy Joel, Bono, #Sting, Brian Wilson, James Taylor, Don Henley, Aretha Franklin, Neil Diamond, Neil Young, Barbra Streisand, Paul McCartney, Bruce Springsteen, Carole King, Bob Dylan, Lionel Richie, Tom Petty, the whole of Fleetwood Mac, Dolly Parton, and the whole of Aerosmith.
Nice.
So it was really cool when Bono was, they announced that he was going to get the award. A friend of ours, God bless her for giving us these opportunities, we all got together and we got a table. Yeah. Table 231, is that correct?
It is. I'll post a picture of we each had like a lanyard with our table number on it.
Yes.
I'll post a picture of that on the social medias.
The beginning of, well, first let's talk about what we wore, because really that's,
oh my gosh, that's really what's
important.
The most important.
Yeah.
I totally forget what store I got this dress from, but I was obsessed with this store. Oh, what was it?
Was it BCBG?
It was BCBG.
Yeah.
Thank you for being my memory.
I guarantee you I've not thought about that in 17 years, but it just sounded about right.
That used to be my guilty pleasure, was buying dresses there, and they're not inexpensive. So when I had an excuse to go buy something super fancy, it was amazing. It was very pink and shiny and flowy, and I had blonde hair at the time, so I had a big blonde ponytail that was I just felt all the rage. I just really felt like it was working.
You looked amazing. I think we all looked friggin' amazing.
We did.
So my dress, I have a funny story. I don't remember where I saw it. It doesn't matter. But I saw it like a print ad or something, and it was Jessica McClintock, which, I kind of thought died out in the 90s. But when I saw this dress, I was just like, that's just me. It was black and white, color block, just kind of like a straight dress, but it was kind of long, which is not usually what I go for.
I picture it so well.
I ordered it and it arrived and it was a totally different dress.
I remember this story.
It was not even close. It wasn't Jessica McClintock. It was like some purple something that was like 8 sizes too small and nothing I would ever wear. And I just like cried and I called, or I don't know what I did, but I think I contacted Nordstrom and they were like, sorry, we're out of stock. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I want that. Like how I ordered it. Like I went through all this process to order it. And
this wasn't like easy online ordering.
No, it wasn't. I think I ordered over the phone or something.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, we found one. we'll put it in the mail to you tomorrow. So they send me the dress, and it's like 10 sizes too big. It's the dress I ordered, but
Wrong
not
size.
the size, not anywhere close to the size I ordered. And now I'm getting like freaking out. Another thing is I wait to the last minute to do everything. So now I'm panicking because I need a freaking dress to wear in like a week. So
Right.
I called,
and there's no Amazon Prime.
no, I called Nordstrom again, and they're like, well, we're out of it. And I'm like, but you just sent me one that, like, I don't understand what's happening here. Like, don't take an order if you're already out of stock, like,
Right.
come on. I was very, very angry. And the lady was kind of snippy to me. And I'm like, do you want to know why I need this dress? I'll tell you right now why I need this dress. And she was like, why? And I'm like, I'm going to an event that is part of the Grammys. And I need this dress. And I need it like tomorrow. And she was like, let me get my supervisor on the phone. And so she put her supervisor on the phone. Now we're in New York. I'm talking to people in New York. And this lady says, don't worry about it. I'll have a dress sent to you tomorrow. Don't worry about it.
Like, do you know who I am?
I am no one at all. I'm someone that managed to scrape together some money to pay my way into this event. Right. I am no one. And I mean, they shouldn't treat anybody like that.
No.
But if they were going to treat me like crap, I was going to tell them where their dress wasn't going to be.
Right.
So apparently this lady ran down the street to like a Jessica McClintock store and bought the dress.
Holy shit.
And put it in a box with the Jessica McClintock tag still on it.
They thought it was going to be like a red carpet moment.
Yeah, but I made it very clear. I'm just a guest. It's not,
right.
It will not be seen by anyone, but I'm just letting you know where it's going.
Maybe it was just like woman to woman. She just got it.
Right. And she literally walked down the street, got the dress, put it in a box, and I had it the next day.
That's amazing.
But also, that said, again, we did not have, we had online stuff, but not to the extent that we have now. And now the area where I live is much more up and coming, and I have places where I can go to buy nice things.
Yeah.
17 years ago, we weren't that evolved yet. So I didn't have, I'm either going to get this Jessica McClintock dress, or I'm going to have to go to JCPenney's or Target. And get like, I don't want to do it. And it wasn't an expensive dress either. That was the other thing. Like, I kind of
perfect.
I love that dress. And I had a pixie cut.
You did?
I had it all spiked up that night.
We're going to have to find a picture. I know there's a picture of us from the next event that I can
I have a picture of me and one of our friends.
Yeah.
But I don't know that I have a picture of the two of us. Maybe we have one.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'll have to look.
Well, the event started with a silent auction.
And it was a cocktail party.
It was a cocktail party, silent auction. And I have a feeling we were in the peasants room of that, which there were plenty of famous people in there with us.
Yeah, like Dr. Ruth Westheimer.
Dr. Ruth Westheimer was in there. One of the Kennedy sisters was in there. I remember seeing her. Yeah. And I remember seeing Jay-Z. He was behind me.
Really?
Yes. I was with our friend in line waiting to get champagne. Mm-hmm. And I think there were just so many people there that even moderate celebrities had to wait in line and get. Jay-Z wasn't who he is now.
No.
We were getting champagne, and right before me, the bartender, someone comes over and whispers something to the bartender, and I'm like, oh crap, they're cutting me off or something. And they're like, we're so sorry, but we don't have any more champagne glasses, so we have to give you champagne in a regular wine glass. And I'm like, oh, no. And like,
this everyone is unacceptable.
Everyone around knew I was so exaggerated. Everyone around knew that I was joking. The bartender laughed, our friend laughed. Yeah. And this guy behind our friend just like slapped his leg, and we had this hearty ha 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 ha. And I turned around and I'm like, oh my God. And I think I ran away. And I had the conversation with our friend. I'm like, was that who I think that was. And again, he was not big like he is now, but
Right.
I just have always kept up with that, and I knew who he
Yeah.
was, and apparently our friend did too. But that was like, I mean, this is way pre-Beyonce, and
Very much so, yeah.
oh my God, that was one of my highlights. Another person I remember seeing there was Michael Bloomberg.
Oh.
He was
Just
mayor at the
mayor.
time.
Yeah.
He was just there as he should have been as mayor of New
Of
York.
Yeah.
No other further comment there. Those are the celebrities I remember being at the silent auction.
Yeah, I wish I had more memory of that moment. Like, I can picture being in the room. Like, I can kind of like feel the essence of the room. I can picture Dr. Westheimer. And but I just like I don't have much else. It's so strange.
Yeah.
That's
I
like
mean, I don't actually like my memory is generally better than it is about this event, but again, that might have been alcohol induced. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was very overwhelming. That's what I can say. It was very overwhelming.
Maybe that's why I don't remember a lot of it. Like,
yeah, I remember being very overwhelmed. And the silent auction wasn't like, for a basket of cheese or shampoo. It was for, one of Bono's Green Crutches, autographed by all four U2. It was a motorcycle. I remember those two items. And I feel like I thought there was like a boat or something, but I might be mixing that up with another fancy silent auction I went to.
Yeah.
But we have the book, and it's got crazy weird like trip.
Oh yeah, the silent auction catalog. Les Paul guitar signed by Les Paul. Here's something from an acoustic guitar signed by The Rock. Does he play guitar?
An Apple iMac 1.
What? What's the value?
Apple iMac features 17-inch LCD flat screen, 800 megahertz PowerPC G4 SuperDrive, CD DVD-R, includes complete collection of powerful, easy-to-use software, making it the ultimate computer for managing your digital style.
Oh my God. What's the value on it?
The estimated donor value was donated by Apple Computers. Estimated donor value $1,899. Minimum bid $600.
Oh my gosh.
We have no idea how much any of this stuff went for.
Here's the book The Lover's Companion, signed by Dr. Ruth Westheimer.
Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, this one. I wish I'd seen this back then. Too Faced gift basket of Too Faced cosmetics.
Tickets to the Oprah show. So, fun fact, my grandma's name was Ruth Westheimer. She was not a doctor, but she used to get the doctor's fan mail.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I do remember, though, walking around that event and saying, "Hey, Jenny, there's your grandma." And you're like, "Yep."
Yep.
It wasn't like any other. I don't see any other conversation. I'm like, "Hey, there's your grandma." Yep.
Yep.
I didn't know that about.
Yeah, she used to get her fan mail. That's the story that was told to me.
There was a John F. Kennedy original letter.
Wow.
Estimated donor value $10,000. Minimum bid $3,000.
There's lots of trips and like studio equipment,
paintings. There's a thing for like contact lenses. Ooh, a Bliss Spa triple oxygen treatment facial. I would love to go to a Bliss Spa one day.
Yeah.
Ooh, Vera Wang crystal flutes.
Ooh.
There's just a lot of impressive stuff in here. Wait, let's see what else was Bono related.
Here's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame varsity jacket and rocker membership.
Oh.
Way to go, Rock and Roll Hall
A year's
of Fame.
supply of Altoids.
Really?
I remember Altoids being in our swag bag.
Oh, yeah. I don't remember the swag bag.
We had a swag bag that had a lot of good stuff in it. Oh, Stay Far Away, So Close, handwritten and signed lyrics by Bono.
Oh.
Estimated donor value $3,000, minimum bid $1,000.
We didn't walk around and look at stuff, did we?
I don't think
and then
we
right
did.
above that is the Irish Falcon guitar.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
That's
I remember that. That's
all his stuff is right there. He's got 3 things. Elevation jacket, the green Gretsch, and the Stay lyrics. Here are 2 original paintings of Bono by Peter Max, signed by Bono. Throughout the other book, the tribute journal, it's all Peter Max artwork.
Yeah. Okay, so then after that was a dinner reception, I guess.
Yeah.
I remember we had a horrible table, like
We were up on the balcony, like in the corner.
with all this equipment around us, so we couldn't
Yeah.
see a whole lot.
No. I mean, we could see the stage and stuff, but it wasn't.
It probably was the worst table in the entire place.
Right.
But we were in the door, we saw, it was great.
I bet you we paid the same as everyone else on that balcony, though.
As everyone else on the balcony, yes.
Yeah. I don't remember dinner.
I don't remember dinner either, but I remember nobody was impressed with it.
Yeah. Which is kind of typical of those things.
Yeah. So the MC, I think, was supposed to be Billy Joel because he received it the year before.
Oh, yeah?
But he had some sort of issue. I don't know if it was bottle issue or something, and he had to cancel, and Ashley Judd filled in.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, she's delightful.
Yeah. She was just, okay. I remember she wore a lavender dress.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So they had a few speakers. I know that the speaker that introduced Bono was former President Bill Clinton.
Yes, he's the one that presented the award to him.
Yeah.
And Bono spoke.
Bono spoke, and there were a ton of performers that did U2 songs.
Yeah.
They covered U2 songs, which I honestly only remember a handful of them. I vividly remember B.B. King and Winona Judd saying When Love Comes to Town. I know that. I remember No Doubt saying The Sweetest Thing.
I remember Norah Jones doing Stuck in a Moment.
I vaguely remember that, but there was something I remember being emotional about that, but I didn't remember that it was Norah Jones for some reason.
I also remember, and you will know us by the Trail of the Dead, doing Electric Co, because I was like trying to get into them at the time.
I'm not sure I knew who they were, actually, but I remember...
Yeah. Up and coming.
Yeah. Well, okay, so the whole list was B.B. King, Winona Judd, When Love Comes to Town. No Doubt did The Sweetest Thing. Black Rebel Motorcycle Club did Stories for Boys. Mary J. Blige won. Norah Jones, Stuck in a Moment. Patti LaBelle, Angel of Harlem. I do not remember that.
No, and I watched a video of it, and I still don't remember it.
And you will know us by the Trail of Dead. Electrico. Garbage did Pride. I remember Garbage being there, and I remember that Shirley Manson wore a Red Rock
shirt. Yeah.
Was it war? Whatever.
Well, yeah, it was red. It was the white flag.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Sheryl Crow did All I Want Is You, which I have no memory of, and Elvis Costello did Kite. For some reason, I had it in my head Elvis Costello did Please, but he did that at other times.
Okay. Yeah, he has a recording of that, I think.
Yeah, he does. And the version of Please that U2 played when they played it during Elevation, they said it was the version of Elvis, like they relearned how to play the song because of Elvis Costello.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
There's a fun fact.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember Bono saying it in Tampa or Miami, somewhere Elvis Costello was. So Edge and Bono performed That's Life, which I remember.
Yeah.
And Night and Day, which I don't remember. And The Hands That Built America, which was just won a Golden Globe or something.
Was it? Was it up for a Grammy that year or no?
No, it was for movies. It was
yeah. Oh yeah. It was a soundtrack.
But in our gift bag, I remember vividly. It's long gone, but I remember vividly. It was like this single, and it said "For Your Consideration" on it.
Oh, okay.
Which I thought that was really cool. No one's ever asked me for my consideration before.
Especially when it comes to that.
Not that I had a vote anywhere.
And the Children of Uganda also performed.
That's correct. It said that Bono's wife and daughters were there. Robert De Niro, Bill Clinton, Michael Stipe, Richie Havens, Gwen Stefani, Melissa Etheridge, Isaac Hayes, Winona Judd, and Moby. What I remember seeing, because after the concert part, we went downstairs and tried our best to
Yeah. Be amongst the people.
Well, to get to Bono.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't work. I think it may have worked for our friend, but it didn't work for us. But I remember seeing vividly, I remember seeing Bill Clinton talking to Carly Simon.
As you do.
As you do. I remember seeing Ed Burns, who I had the biggest crush on.
Yes, you did.
At the time. Like, still do. One time he replied to one of my tweets just saying, for real.
Yeah.
So I remember that. And I don't remember anyone else that was there. But we had these gift bags that had all kinds of really weird random things in it. Like it was one of those off the beaten path tour books of New York, but it was pre 9/11.
Oh gosh.
And it was like, why? That was just, I thought that was not in good taste.
Gift bags are often kind of crappy.
But I remember the Altoids, and there was one of those remedy drop things, stress relief or something. It was like a dropper.
Yeah, okay.
I think there was a copy of All That You Can't Leave Behind in there, the CD. And the bag was great. MusiCares. I still think I have that bag too.
Why can't you picture that bag? I would not get rid of that.
MusiCares logo, and then on the other side, I think it had a logo for 7-Up. Look, I totally could be wrong about this, but I'm gonna find that bag and
find it.
I'm pretty sure I'm right that one side was 7-Up. One of the, I mean, aside from just being there, being in attendance, one of the coolest things was this giant book we got.
It's called a tribute journal.
And it's mostly just businesses and people that took out these full-page ads.
It's politicians and other musicians. There's a handwritten note from Phil Collins.
Yeah, there are all these letters from, God, everywhere. Harvard School of Public Health congratulating Bono. Like crazy. All these politicians. Yeah.
Bill and Hillary.
They've since been voted out of office. Most of them. Well, Hillary Clinton, Chuck Schumer.
Dianne Feinstein, Orrin Hatch.
Orrin Hatch. That's funny because I one time saw a picture of Bono in Orrin Hatch's office and I felt like I shouldn't have been in there and neither should Bono.
Chuck Schumer.
Oh, Edward Kennedy. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Churches and Africa-related foundations, NetAid.
My book, which had never been opened, the binding, I think, dry rotted or something. So look, it came apart.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm actually going to see how much it costs to rebind it because I would like for this is a nice book.
It's a really beautiful one from Elton John.
That's the most beautiful one. Okay, so I think I'm right about the 7-Up thing because there's one that says, "Thank you, Ireland, for sharing a great musician and caring humanitarian, not to mention the color green." And then it's 7-Up. I'm pretty sure I'm right about that.
I like that both Paul Simon and Billy Joel, I think they literally phoned theirs in.
They got the award the 2 years prior to...
I know, but it's just a white page with type. It says, congratulations and best wishes. Or dear Bono.
Right, I think they did. They have the same press person that called out.
Just Pavarotti.
No, the Phil Collins one is really cool.
That one's really cool, the handwritten one.
Yeah, Quincy
I'm going to take a picture of that and post it. Quincy's is on his letterhead.
Travelocity. Lots of airlines. Sony Music. Oh, that's nice. Broadway Cares. Equity Fights AIDS.
Oh, nice.
There's one that I saw that I would like to mention.
There's a really great one from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I might have helped with that one.
Maybe. It was really well done.
Yes. I thought we did a good job.
Where was the one?
Oh, Trudy and Sting.
That's it. That's it. That's the one I was looking for.
Hashtag Sting.
Yeah.
To our dear friend Bono, once more in the name of love. Congrats, Trudy and Sting.
Oh, that's the one I was looking for.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm taking pictures.
There's some amazing pictures in here too. God, Trudy and Sting. That just gives me chills.
It's so great. These are his friends.
Yeah. Rolling Stone had a page. All of these that we're mentioning, it's a whole page
Yeah, these are full page ads. These are all ad buys that all, then give back to MusiCares. Let me tell you, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame one features a photo by Otto Kitzinger, which, if you're listening to this, you may know him or know of his work. He posts on pictures, kind of daily pictures on Facebook often. It's a really great picture that he gave us to use, the rights to use.
Definitely, Otto deserves a shout out.
Yeah,
lots of lawyers.
Lots of them.
And also another interesting thing is the quality of some of these ads are awful. They're like pixely and old looking.
Yeah.
But some of them aren't.
But then there's some really cool like art in here too.
Yeah. Most of it's really cool.
But it's really just, there are some actual ads in here, but it's really just a ginormous love note. Congratulations, Bono. It's amazing. I wish there was a page number. I wish there were page numbers. Do you think this is like 200, 300 pages?
Yeah. But it's like really specific stuff. Like this is an ad from CBS.
Yeah.
Specifically, we salute Bono for his dedication to music and humanity. Congratulations on this honor.
Right. Oh, I just saw an ad.
I see the Rock Hall one now.
Isn't that pretty? We also had the U2 exhibit at the time.
Which we need a whole episode about. This is just this book, which I honestly never opened. I mean, again, it's like it just dry rotted or something because it fell apart. You do not have it stored very well, I guess. I wonder how much it costs to get a book rebound.
I don't know. Probably more than you want to pay.
I'm pretty sure about that. Maybe I'll see if I can find how to do it on YouTube.
Okay. Just don't ruin it.
No, I won't. But I really don't like the fact that it's a ton of pages that are falling out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Simon Wiesenthal Center. That's nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, this is really, really nice. It's just, the whole thing is just very heartwarming. I feel like we are a little possessive of he's our Bono,
Yeah.
And to just see his impact on all of these people is just mind-blowing.
There's some coverage of it from MTV that I found on YouTube, and the VJ said that they finally got it right this year.
Huh.
By giving it to the person who deserved it the most.
Oh. Instead of just, yeah.
Because of all of his humanitarian work.
I don't think most of those people did any charity stuff. I mean, I'm sure they did, but on the DL, maybe.
Yeah. So I have some quotes. Oh, yeah. I have some quotes from some of the speeches. So I guess Bono spoke pretty early on because he was like hyping up the crowd and be like, oh, there's so many people here. And when he said Mary J. Blige was going to play one, he's like, Mary J. Blige is going to do one for God's sake. We're going to church this evening, whether we want to or not. And he said, thank you. I'm a spoiled, rotten rock star, and I'm having the time of my life. Oh, you know who else, like, quote unquote, performed was, quote, Adam Clayton. But it was Jimmy Fallon.
What?
Yeah, there's video of it. And there's great, and he's dressed as Adam, and he was saying how Bono is a great guy, and he'd love to hang out with him sometime, when he's not busy getting awards 2 or 3 times a week. And they pan to the audience, and everyone is sitting except Bono, who's like standing up, just delighted. It is so cute. Edge spoke, and he said, being at his right side for 20 years, I'm well positioned to see his wings sprout or his halo slip, and I haven't seen either. So who is he? I don't really know. It's a hell of a ride trying to find out.
Oh,
that was really sweet.
That's really sweet.
And then my most, of course, I wish I couldn't find Bill Clinton's whole speech, but he said that, Bono, Bill Clinton said he can say words, but thinks deeds are more important. And he said something else about, Bono bringing the world together. And then President Clinton said, there is no them, there's only us. Which, and this came up on Twitter not too long ago, there is no record of Bono saying that.
Prior to then?
prior to them.
Holy crap. I just got crazy chills.
Either Bono said it to Bill in a private in a conversation, or he got it from that speech.
Yeah, I would like to think that he got it from.
Yeah. There's this guy on Twitter. His name's Tim. He's a U2 academic. He's written a book. He had a thread going on Twitter. It might have been a month or two ago. It might have been a while, even longer ago. I have no time reference anymore. But he has done extensive research on that line and can find no previous record of that line. I think that's really crazy cool.
That's really crazy cool.
That spoiler, that becomes a lyric. Know them, only us.
Hey there, listeners. If you're a U2 fan, you are more than likely aware of the work that Bono has done and continues to do in Africa. It's amazing work, and the exciting thing is you can get involved too. There are 2 simple ways. 1. Go to one.org and sign up to fight against extreme poverty. 2. Visit red.org to shop. What? Shopping helps? It sure does. By purchasing Red branded products, you are contributing to the Global Fund, which supports HIV/AIDS grants in many African countries. As your man says, where you live should not decide whether you live or whether you die. So head on over to one.org and red.org to join the Garden Tarts in doing our part to end AIDS.
So since I feel like in a mini ep, we're not really required to have a question for Bono over Whiskey and Cake. But I have an interesting thought on this. It has nothing to do with MusiCares. Okay. I was just listening to that Hoser podcast, which I finally got around to listening to this week. Amazing. But so the podcast is at Bono's house. So like he was like, "Hey, you want to be on my podcast?" And Bono's like, "Sure, come on over."
Yep.
So what if we got invited to have Whiskey and Cake with Bono at his house? Then I would assume that the whiskey and cake would be provided for us. So we would need to bring him a hostess gift.
Oh.
I say hostess because that's funnier.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like socks. What do you get him?
The man who has everything. I mean, more cake?
I would think
no.
More whiskey.
More whiskey. Can you like stop at the store on the way and just like a 6-pack?
I don't know, but I feel like when you're invited to someone's house, like, you know, there's potluck and then there's don't mess with my menu kind of.
Yes.
Yes. And I feel like I would not be presumptuous enough to bring any sort of food or drink into the Hewson house.
I think that's a really good thing. I mean, maybe we would just bring like some flowers.
Flowers are good. Socks. Everybody can use socks.
Everyone needs socks. So interestingly, Inhaler, little band out of Dublin, I guess they were named like, I don't know what it was, BBC's new band of the year or something. I don't know, but they did an interview and they were talking about going on tour.
I see where this is going.
They're talking about going on tour and figuring out that. And the one thing they have learned is that they never pack enough socks.
Right. Yeah. So socks. I don't know. I guess maybe some Garden Tart stickers.
I've got a very good supply of it.
Yeah.
I really do. Do you think he wants like a product red chapstick?
Maybe we could bring him this book to see because I bet he hasn't looked at it in a long time either.
I know, the tribute journal.
Yeah. I hope he has it on a bookshelf somewhere and that it's being properly kept like mine wasn't.
We should maybe send him a memo and let him know that the glue loosens.
Yeah.
So it's fall apart when he goes to reminisce and look at it. It doesn't just tumble out.
You know, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we'd find something nice to bring him, but I'm never sure what to bring as a hostess gift. Also, I just don't say host because it's funnier to say hostess when you're talking about a dude.
I get behind that.
Yeah. I don't know. A Starbucks gift card. Who couldn't use that?
I'll use it.
We all need Starbucks gift cards.
Yeah. So I think some socks and a Starbucks gift card.
I think that would be... Maybe we'll make garden tart socks to bring them.
That'd be awesome.
And we'll make them like brown or something so that they're a boy color.
With a little pink logo.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to try some of this Jameson cold brew.
Oh, I bet he has easy access to that. He's at the airport a lot.
A lot. Do you think he's shopping in the duty free?
Dude, he left it in the duty free.
He sure did. He left something there once. Someone did.
Duty.
So, this wasn't the end of our weekend.
Oh no, my gosh.
Friday.
It wasn't. I totally lost track of time. So a couple days, 2 days later, we went to the actual
Sunday
Grammy ceremony.
Right. And we got just as dressed up as we did for MusiCares.
Our seats were like, we could touch the ceiling at Madison Square Garden.
Apparently, when you're in the nosebleeds, you just wear jeans.
We didn't know. And you have to climb all these stairs and...
I mean, it was at Madison Square Garden. This was not meant for heels.
No.
No.
We just were thinking Grammys. Let's look like we're ready for the Grammys.
Well, I think we assumed that everyone would be dressed up.
Yeah. I would also like to add, this was not the funnest of night. I mean, it was a great adventure, but it was boring as crap.
If you have never sat through the filming of a TV show, let alone an award show that's already hours long, it is awful.
You know how, like, you can get up and get snacks at commercials or whatever? You can't do that there. You have to, like, keep watching crap while they take breaks for commercials, but there's nothing to do.
Break.
I mean, you just sit there. They showed old clips of old Grammys, but it wasn't, like, anything interesting. It was a great... To watch it, I assume to watch it from the TV would have been really cool. It opened with Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Which was one of them. It was a surprise nobody knew. It was one of the most exciting things.
I can still hear you. Your audible gasp.
Like, oh,
yep.
I have to tell my dad.
But now I remember the weather that night, how windy it was. Because we got out of the show and tried to go get something to eat, and it was like a friggin' hurricane of wind.
Yes, it was the 45th Annual Grammy Awards. Norah Jones won all the awards.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even like it wasn't a whole lot of competition either. The
performers weren't even there.
No, they weren't there. The performers were amazing, though. I remember Coldplay, and the end, which was the best part, was a tribute to Joe Strummer.
Yeah.
It was London Calling and had everyone you could ever imagine in this tribute band. Bruce Springsteen, Elvis Costello, Dave Grohl, Tony Kanal.
You said the three that I know in my head.
Bass. I'm just trying to remember this off the top of my head because I can't find.
Let's go. Bruce, Stephen Van Zandt, Elvis Costello, Dave Grohl. Oh, that's who they have listed here. Who else did you say? You can definitely look it up.
Yeah. Like I think Eminem performed. I mean, not in that group, but I think he performed that night. John Mayer. I vividly remember Coldplay played with like the New York Symphony or something like that. Yeah, that was really good.
So I want to say that one of my favorite parts of that weekend was when we left the Grammys and we got chased by the paparazzi.
We did. Oh, hold on. I have to add this in. I think it was the year that we saw NSYNC do the Bee Gees. Oh my God. I think so. Yes. 2003. I do, because I feel like I remember it being like on the right side of the stage or something. That was amazing. I knew it wasn't just in my head. I knew that was a real thing. Okay, so after Grammy Awards, so like to get there, we were waiting for a cab, and these people that were staying in the hotel were like, well, we have a car. Do you want to just share it? And we're like, yeah. And so we get in this car with strangers, and like
we didn't really know what we were doing or where.
No, the window in the back of this car didn't roll up all the way, and it was like crazy wind, and I don't even know, but I think it was raining. It was cold as crap. It was so stupid. And so we leave, and you can't get a cab. Everyone in the world is leaving there. There are no cars. There are no cabs. I mean, all the important people had their rides, but we were just fools wearing formal dresses in the nosebleeds at Madison Square Garden. So we start to walk as far away as we could to hopefully get a cab. And this guy was like, hey, you guys have any way to get into a after party? And we're like, dude, we're walking. We're walking away from Madison Square Garden in this horrible weather. Does it look like we have any way to get into an after party? And then we kept walking, and he took pictures of our butts.
He sure did.
Yeah, so that was kind of funny. And then the best part, this is maybe the best part of the whole trip of any story that has ever happened, ever, was we couldn't look up. It was so cold. It was like you had to put your head down. The wind was so bad.
The wind was awful.
And we were walking. I also think that we maybe walked around Madison Square Garden a couple times before, because we walked a really long way before we got to where we ate. And it's almost like right there.
You can see it from the corner of the garden.
And we walked a really long way. So I think that which is weird. Now I totally have my bearings around there, but I think at the time I didn't, I guess. I don't know. But
the last time we were there, we found it. But I felt the time before we couldn't find it.
We couldn't find it. And we like walked everywhere trying. We looked for several trips, I think.
Yeah.
I think we looked in
it's like a famous little diner right across from the garden.
But anyway, we saw this diner, and we're like, we're just going to go in there no matter what, because it's so cold and we just have to get indoors. And so we're walking across the street, and I'm looking down, and I hear Jenny say without any sort of alarm in her voice, watch out. Watch out.
I think the wind was carrying my voice away.
It might have been, because I did not hear any alarm. Like, I just kept walking.
Or it was like just frozen.
Maybe you were frozen. In your defense, I know that you had a good intention. Either I didn't hear it well, or you couldn't speak well, but there was no alarm in your voice at all. Just like, watch out. I mean, like, whatever. When you tell someone that, you have to have some sort of conviction in your voice, because they're not going to listen to you otherwise.
What?
All of a sudden, I mean, I hear Jenny say this, and I don't look up or anything. I keep walking. And then it was like I got hit in the face with a brown fur. I mean, like,
it was a bear.
It like knocked the wind out of me. I'm like, a bear? It was brown fur. What? I'm in Manhattan. What the hell?
Guy had a woman with a fur coat over his shoulder, like ass in the air.
A full length fur coat. And he was carrying her, and he didn't see me, and I didn't see them, and he walked right into me, like, hard. Like, I mean, it was like, how I didn't fall, I don't know.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is when we found a bear in New York City.
Found a bear, and it was many years later that I told this story to my cousin, and she was like, with the way that people line up and everything, you would have been hit in the face with her butt.
Yes.
Fur covered, fur coat covered butt. But I was really rattled. I was shaken. I mean, I was really scared. Whatever. I was assaulted by a bear or by a drunk lady's butt. I don't know.
It might have been like kind of in the middle of the street too.
Yeah. It was
in the street for sure.
It was really weird. It was very, very weird. And then we went into this diner that is the most wonderful place in the world, that we thought we'd have dreamed it up or something.
I know.
We didn't really think it was
like
real.
A decade.
I remember what I ate, and it was pancakes that had apples, raisins, and walnuts in it. It was like more other stuff than it was pancakes. And I dreamt about this for so many years. Then we found it.
Yeah. I'm trying to look and see if I can find. It has like a oh, it is the TikTok diner.
TikTok, that's it.
I almost said it was TikTok diner. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
that can't be right.
Well, I think the way that we found it then was because we were in New York. I made a reservation for a friend of ours and his wife that were going.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll find you a hotel room. Because, I mean, I was making plans anyway. I got him a reservation at this hotel that was literally a block, not even. It was in the same block as Madison Square Garden. When I looked at like the description of the hotel, it had this diner, and I'm like, oh my God, I think that's it.
Yes.
And it was. I like that place. I want to go back there.
Yeah, let's go back.
I haven't been to New York in like 5 years.
Yeah, it's been too long.
Really long time. Anyway, it was a great trip, and we were very proud of Bono. It was an honor to be there.
It sure was. One day we'll tell him that we were there.
Yeah.
We'll tell him that over whiskey and cake.
Definitely we'll tell him that. When we bring him socks and a Starbucks gift card.
Some product red Band-Aids.
Yep.
Everyone needs more Band-Aids.
I know, really.
I don't know. I'm thinking about things I have in stock.
And so like I'm looking around and I'm like, I have this Fireball flavored candle scented, which is my friend gave it to me for my birthday. It's scented, and she was like, this is like what cinnamon? Non-alcoholics call cinnamon. We call it Fireball. I have that candle sitting here, and then a candle that's made out of the glass part's made out of a wine bottle. I'm just looking around what I have. I have a coffee mug that has the Union Jack on it that I've never opened. I'm just looking around like weird random things that Bono might appreciate. I have a lemon desk lamp.
Sure. He'd want that.
Yeah. I'm just looking around like, what do I have?
I have a bunch of framed pictures of him.
That's true. I have a bunch of posters and stuff that I've never framed.
Yeah.
Me too. Maybe that would be a good occasion to give them to Bono. I mean, I'm sure he would want a Charlottesville poster or something for when they played there.
Yeah. I'm sure he'd love that. That might be the winner.
I've got some extra Songs of Experience CDs.
Just a handful.
Just a handful of them. Yeah, he might be interested in that.
Yeah, maybe he didn't get any. He's never been to a U2 show. He's never had to buy any tickets.
Never been. Nope.
Never been.
If he needs a connection, I mean, we'd help him out.
We could try.
We don't really have any connection. It's in our head. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this very special video. We have a lot more content coming up soon. That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited. We've got more albums to go over, but more other fun things like this, too.
And we're really trying to be creative. We have some interesting. Again, if you have any thoughts, if you have any questions you want us to address, we're going to have a podcast just for questions, and we will give you a shout out if we answer your question. We might not answer your question, but we most likely will. We'll give you a shout out. Either way, thank you for asking this question. We're not going to answer. If you have suggestions for future podcasts that are not album related, please let us know that as well.
Yeah, U2 content, but not, or even U2-ish. We're open to suggestions.
Yeah. I mean, we'd like to keep it U2-ish, because that's what we're here for.
Oh, yeah, definitely U2-ish.
Yeah. But we would love to hear any input, any positive input you have.
Right.
I don't handle criticism very well.
No, me either. I'll hold your hand. It's okay.
It makes me cry, just so you guys know. Put something not nice, I cry.
Hillary's gonna cry. And then I'm gonna get mad.
And then I'm gonna get mad, and that's worse. So
yeah,
heads up. Yeah.
Now you know.
But anyway, thank you for listening.
Yeah. Cheers, and we will talk to you online. And bye.
Bye.
Also, we love hearing from people and chatting with people, and of course, we love talking U2. So you can drop us a line on Instagram or Twitter at the @wearethegardentarts, or you can even email us at wearethegardentarts@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you soon. If you enjoy this podcast, we would love it if you would share it with your other YouTube-loving friends, as well as leave a review for us on whatever platform you use to listen to podcasts. We would really, really love that. May your music be loud and your whiskey be strong. Until next time, cheers.